My mum's car is still very, very unhealthy, and after hearing the last time it was serviced, I'm now taking it upon myself to service the car, and maybe, just maybe, it will be running smoother again. And I'm also going to embarrass myself along the way. Like last time I tried to jack the car up on the side skirt, and this time I've decided to put it on some ramps. I don't actually know if you can see that. Let me just show you. The car is on ramps this time. And if you saw the previous video, you'll know that we changed the air filter and the pollen filter. But now what we need to do is change the oil and the oil filter and also the spark plugs. And then, and only then, we'll give the car a little test and see if it's driving smooth. So let's get to work and drop the oil out, seeing as I've just warmed the engine up, getting it onto the ramps. First things first then, we've got to take off the smallest under tray known to man. VW, I don't know what you're thinking, because this under tray looks like it's covering absolutely nothing except maybe the front of the engine, but we're gonna get this off and have a look. Actually, I think that was pointless because I think the drain bung is right here, which the under tray wasn't even covering. I'm a sausage. Where the hell is the blooming oil filter? I'm not even kidding. Oh, hang on, it was necessary. We need to take it off for the oil filter, which is right here. Oh, I was looking for that for so long. What a cheeky little monkey that is. Look, there it is, the bloody thing. I couldn't find that. Thank God I did take the under tray off. Right, oil, let's get it out. So, for a VW Polo 1.4 litre from 2012, it is a 19mm socket to crack this little bolt down here. Oh, there it is in 3, 2, 1. Oh, perfectly placed.
You spat your juice on the driveway a little bit.
Tiny little bit. Ooh. That is very, very black for a petrol car. And very smelly. It's very frothy. So while all the oil is dripping away, we're going to now take off the oil filter, which is sat just up here. Hopefully we can crack this. There we go. Oil filter cracked. We'll be able to get that off and change that over as well. Okay, so that is the oil filter now removed, and here is the brand new one, which we're going to put back in first, and then we're going to get the car off the stands, I think, and then put the oil in because it'll be flat, and then we can get a proper true reading of whether it's full or not. There we go, that is the oil filter now replaced. Next thing we obviously do is fill the oil back up. I'm going to put a little bit of it in now, maybe like a litre or two, and then get the car possibly off the ramps, fill the rest of it up. So let's get a little bit of oil in first and go from there. So I have run out of daylight, but the reason I've run out of daylight is I had to quickly help one of my mates with their car, and yeah, it kind of pushed me back a little bit. It's getting rather annoying though, but it's getting darker earlier. I'm trying to get a garage, so hopefully this won't happen, but yeah, it's going to be tight over winter, but I'll try and do everything I can to get videos out for you. But I need to pour some oil in the engine now, which I'm going to quickly do. Then I'm going to catch back with you tomorrow, where we will do the spark plugs as well, and we'll test the car afterwards. So I'll catch back with you tomorrow once I've done the oil and gotten to bed and woke up. See you then.
The next day.
Oh no, Sam, my tyre's flat. We'll just pump it up then. But I have nothing to pump it up with. No need to worry, because this video is sponsored by AUXITO, and they've got just the tool to pump your tire up, jump start your car, be a power bank or a torch. It's a 4-in-1. Let me show you it. So this tool right here that's been sent out by AUXITO, I keep on me in my car at all times. It's an absolute essential, especially for right now when my tire is flat. In this box then is the tool right here, which obviously inflates tires. It also comes with attachments for jump starting a car. It has USBs to charge your phones or any electronic device, and it also comes with a torch, so when it gets dark you can still use it. To inflate my tire then, first thing we're going to do is switch the tool on. As you can see, it is on, and it's got a battery right now of 79%. If you press the top middle button, that turns on your flash. But as I'm using this to inflate my tire, first thing I'm going to do is screw in the attachment. This connected and the dust cap taken off, all we need to do is just push this straight over where you fill the tire up and lift it on, just like so. Next thing we're going to do is set the PSI up here on the top screen and just press the power button and let it fill up. And there we go. As soon as it hits 35 psi, it stops itself. And that is my tyre now inflated. Pop that straight back off, and there we go. All done. Very, very simple and straightforward. So that demonstration is just one of a couple things that this can do, as I have previously mentioned. It is a very, very handy tool, and it's portable, so I stick it in the boot of my car. If I ever need it, I can just pull it out, inflate a tyre, jumpstart a car, charge a device, or use the torch. So if you want to pick yourself up one of these or anything else from AUXITO's website, I'll leave a link down in the description. Use code SamBryant, save yourself some money off when checking out. Thanks to AUXITO then for sponsoring today's video. Let's crack back on with Mum's car. So I'm back, but we have been quite unfortunate with the weather. It is so windy right now. But the other night then, we obviously poured some oil back into the engine and put about 2.5 litres back in. We're going to check the dipstick now because the engine's nice and cold and on flat land. We're going to see if we need to put any more in or if it's good where it is. All right then, so if the engine has got sufficient oil in there, we should see on the dipstick the oil being up to, you see where this bit is here, where it's perforated? That's where the oil should be going up to. So let's stick it in and pull it out, and let's see roughly where we're at. So we are just below that little perforated bit. I don't know if my camera will be able to pick that up, but we need to pour a little bit more oil into the engine, and then hopefully that should be nice and full. So I'm going to pour probably about 1/2 litre in. That should be enough. Hopefully the wind is not going to blow this flow around. I reckon that's a sufficient amount of oil. Yeah, that was around about 1/2 litre, so we'll let that settle for a minute and then we'll check with dipstick again. But whilst I'm doing that, we're going to take off this engine cover right here, just like that, because that now reveals all of the coil packs, which we're going to need to remove in just a minute so that we can get all the spark plugs out and change them. So the best way that I can recommend to take out the coil packs, because they are held in with rubber grommets, is to get some sort of hook tool. I'm just using an Allen key. Just getting in underneath and prying it up against the rocker cover, and as you can see, it nearly came out, and there we go, it just about pops out. So yeah, that's the best way that I could think of doing it, and I recommend doing one at a time because obviously your engine's timed by the ECU, so you don't want to muddle up the coil packs by accident. Probably won't be able to because of obviously the wire lengths, but it's just the safest thing to do in my opinion, one at a time. I've just got this electrical connector off and now can pull out the coil pack. There it is. There is no oil on the end of this, which is good. That means we haven't got a leaky rocker cover gasket, which is a good thing. But now what we'll be able to do is access the spark plug in there, which I believe we need a 16mm socket to get to. So I've got here a 16mm long socket, and what we're going to do is just push this over the top of the spark plug until it's in place like that, and we'll be able to just crack it loose. And there we go, that's one old spark plug out. That's I'm not actually sure if that's good or not. I need to do a bit of research on spark plugs. Let me know in the comments below. Does this mean anything bad in the engine, like possibly oil getting in or water, like a coolant or anything like that? Or is that a perfectly okay and used spark plug? Please let me down below. Please let me know down below, because I'm not too clued up on things like this. Now to get it back in, this is obviously the brand new one. As you can see, it's got no wear at all. We're going to push it into the socket just like that, and then we're going to line it up into place. Be very careful with it and just start threading it in. As simple as that. And then we'll put the coil pack back over it, plug the electrical connector in, and that is a spark plug changed. Not too difficult. So we're just going to get it up relatively tight, about there. You don't want to go too tight with them. I think 28 Newton meters is the correct amount. Unfortunately, I do not have the what's it called, the correct torque wrench for it, but 28 Newton meters is not massively tight. All we're going to do now is just push the coil pack back into place along with the electrical connector, just like so. There we go. That is one spark plug fully changed, and it's starting to rain. That's not helpful, but the rain is not going to stop us. What I'm going to do is just plug the holes up each time I take one of the coil packs out, so we don't get any rainwater into obviously where the spark plug sits. But let's quickly pop the rest of these out, and I'll show you how to get that electrical connector off. So to get this electrical connector off, there's a little plastic tab on the bottom, which if you just push towards that way, and then if you pull the electrical connector at the same time, it pops out just like that. There's that little tab I was on about, so if you just put it this way. Doesn't need to pull very much. Whilst pulling the electrical connector, that pops out along with the coil pack. Once again, a black spark plug. And there we go, that is all 4 spark plugs changed. Last thing you want to do is just give them a slight tap down like this, because all they're held on in by is those rubber grommets, so obviously they need to be in properly, but all of them fit in place, all the electrical connectors are on nicely, and all we need to do is just put this little engine cover back on, just like so. It slots into a few bits at the back and then down on clips at the front. That sits on top. And all I'm going to do is just quickly check the dipstick, remember, just to make sure we've got enough oil in the engine, and then we'll start it up. Finally then, now that the oil's settled, let's just check it one final time. Hopefully we've not overfilled it, and hopefully it's up to the perfect amount. Let's dip it in. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I don't know if, yeah, you can see that on camera, look at that. Perfectly filled engine. Sweet, Mum's going to be happy with that, hopefully. Let's just take on a little test drive now and make sure everything's working all right. And maybe, just maybe, the engine will be running a bit smoother than what it was before. Whoa, it's windy. Let's get in the car. First time changing spark plugs ever. I'm nervous to start the car, but let's do it. Hopefully, this will go to plan. That's running sweet, let's go. That is running really, really nicely. I'm really happy with that. There's no skipping a beat here at all. Sounds really good. Let's take on a drive and see if that's made any difference at all, because the old spark plugs were battered and the new NGK ones are obviously brand new, so maybe it's just made it run a little bit better. One of the first things I can tell about Mum's car then, before we go on a drive, is it is finally holding revs. That is really good. Oh, that's me letting off a little bit. Yeah, it is holding revs, which is really good. That is just what we want. So that is one problem slightly fixed. Maybe the engine is going to be running smooth now. Let's go on a drive and find out. What work have we done in total then? So we've changed the air filter, the pollen filter, the oil filter, and obviously all the spark plugs now. So that's a nice fresh service to Mum's car. Hopefully that will just give the engine a fresh bit of life as you're falling off the dash. You guys fell off the dash. You're now down here instead. In fairness then, I think we might have just done the engine a good deed. It seems to be all right. It likes to hold revs. The idling's pretty smooth, and it seems to drive pretty well in the lower rev ranges. Hopefully then we've just made the engine come back to life a little bit, maybe. There we go. That is a first drive with the car completed, and in all honesty I think we might have just fixed the issues with Mum's engine, which is really good. Going forward then, I don't think this will be the last time we have Mum's car on the channel, because I know her rear suspension's not in amazing condition, especially the bump stops, they all look kind of worn out, so we might get some new suspension and put it on Mum's car. Not coilovers, because my mum's not a racer, just some standard suspension to just hopefully, like I keep saying, I want to bring this car back to life, make it good for Mum. But if there's any little cosmetic modifications, possibly like some sweeping indicators or something along the lines of that, I'm sure I could possibly persuade my mum into that, because it's nothing really crazy. But if you want to see that, let me know in the comments down below and I'll read all of them. Anyway, thank you guys ever so much for watching this week. If you want to get anything from AUXITO, links is in the description. Use my code SamBryant to get yourself some discount at checkout. I'll catch back with you guys next week on Sunday. Have a fantastic week and I'll see you then. Peace out.